I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. This is episode 392. 392. Man, I was thinking that we would get to 400 this week, but it won't be until next week. So it is what it is. We'll take them as they come. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're doing well on this, if you're watching live, Sunday evening, February 16th, 2025. It is a snowy evening. We've had a little bit of snow in the east central Indiana region. It's going to be a cold week, another cold week for everybody that's just hoping and praying for a little bit of sunlight, a little bit of warmth, a little bit of spring. It's not going to be this week. So grab your underwear, grab your socks, grab your favorite little drink and snack and sit down and get ready for some hard-hitting political commentary. Hey, and while we're at it, do me a favor and go ahead and hit the like button now. Chances are some of you won't be so aimed to hit the like button by the middle or the end of the show. So if you would just go ahead and tap that thumb now, that would be beneficial. It would be very helpful if you could just go ahead and smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Click the bell so you get notified when we go live. Comment over here if you're watching live. Comment down here if you're watching via replay into the future. And above all else, share the show with everyone you know. And hey, so we're going to be joined by Katherine Callahan, Dr. Katherine Callahan, here in just a few moments. And we're going to be, I believe, we're going to just, I kind of let it go and pray that the Lord comes through me and allows me to speak and it touches people whichever way that it's meant to touch you. And I try to hope that the message gets out and that people that need to hear it, and that it will make people see. And I want to say just a couple things before we bring Katherine on. Number one, I'm hoping that this is kind of like a come to Jesus meeting tonight. And we'll get a little bit further into that as we go along. But I first and foremost want to say this. Katherine is coming on the program, and we may or may not have a difference of agreement or opinion on various things that we talk about tonight. I respect Katherine completely. I like that Katherine and I can agree to disagree. We do it frequently on here, and that's not what I'm worried about. I do not want anything that I say to be a reflection on Katherine. So I want everybody to be aware of that. I may have opinions that are different than Katherine's or anyone that she's connected to or any group that she's a part of. I also want to say, with the exception of, and this is very important that you guys listen to this, with the exception of Ed Carroll and Jessica Piper and a good majority of the people in the Delaware County Democratic Association political party, and Russ Willis and Kelly Hewer in Madison County, with the exception of those people, anybody else that I reference this evening or that I come close to referencing, or anyone that you feel that I am talking to, whether it be you or someone you know, I mean no ill will or bad intent to any of those people politically or any other way. I want them to do the very best they can, and I am friends. This is the way I'm saying it. I'm friends with a lot of people that I'm going to be kind of harsh about this evening. I'm going to be kind of harsh to the outsider political movement in Delaware County. And I know that there are a lot of people that I really care about and respect, like Amber Green, Ryan Webb. I'm very passionate and happy and supportive of what Stephen Brand has been doing as commissioner. But I also know that there's been in-run round backroom movements that he's been doing. And so I might talk about some of those things, and I might appear harsh tonight. But there's going to be a reason for that. I might be harsh about the movement that Katherine belongs to in trying to overpower Russ Willis. We just had Dr. Ackerman and Lisa Rinker on, and I care for both of them and respect both of them tremendously. I might be a little harsh about them and that movement tonight, and I want you to listen to the end of this, because I promise that if you are listening with a clear mind and a clear heart, that you will understand why I am being harsh. First and foremost, we have to understand the whole idea of the Reagan 11th commandment. Throw that shit directly out the window. There is no such thing as thou shalt not speak ill of a fellow Republican, quote unquote, or a fellow Democrat, or a fellow conservative, or a fellow liberal. If you cannot point out the flaws in your fellow party people, then you are as bad as the people we are against. If I can't do it, I'm as bad as the people that I'm against. And if the people that are being spoken out against can't take that criticism, then they're not the people that I want to support and back, and they're in the wrong places. So just because we speak critical of something or a movement or this or that, you have to take in the whole information. I don't put them in the same category as I do Russ and Kelly and Ed and Jessica. But if we can't hold them accountable, that's the very thing that happened with Dan Ridenour. I'm going to be very clear. And then we're going to bring on Katherine. I supported Dan Ridenour for 2 years. 2 years I supported Dan. Dan had me convincing everybody that he was the white knight in shining armor riding in on the horse. He was going to make everything right. See, I've backed a lot of people. I've backed winners and losers, and people I've liked and people I've supported and people I've not supported. For example, in 2018, I backed J.D. Prescott. I did not like J.D. Prescott, but at that time, he had to win because the person that was running against him would have been worse than J.D. Prescott has been. Now, I told J.D. as soon as we knew he was going to win, I told him within 6 months to a year, I will be coming for you, because he had no business there, but he had more business than Sean Byram. So sometimes that has to happen. I didn't feel that way about Dan Ridenour. I thought Dan Ridenour would be a good mayor. And 2 weeks after he won the election, he flipped. And when I started calling Dan out just 2 weeks after the election, he hadn't even taken the mayor's office yet. People started crapping all over me. Oh, he's not even taken. And I was like, wait. He's stubbing his toe. He's doing mess ups. And if we can't call him out now and he can't correct these wrongs now, what's it going to be like when he's mayor? Well, now here we are 5 years into a term, one full term and 1 year into a new term. And look what we've been dealing with. Trouble after trouble after trouble. No communication, no transparency, no accountability. Nothing doing what he said he would do. So, my friends, I am harshest about the people closest to me, specifically when I'm going to support them, because if I'm going to support them to take a seat or to put them someplace, I want to know they are going to be deserving of that seat. So we just have to keep our minds on there and keep your eye on the ball, okay? This is not about any given one person. It's about the whole. It's about we the people. It's not about Sheriff Troy or Sheriff Beeman. It's not about Sheriff Skinner. It's not about Stephen Brand. It's not about Lisa Rinker. It's not about Joe Boyce. It's not about Ryan Webb. It's not about Christopher Bilbrey. It's about we the people. It's about the Constitution. So for everybody that's getting close, that's getting kind of, that ego, that little bit of a big head, just chill. And let's keep our eye on the prize. All right, without further ado, let's bring on Katherine Callahan.
Oh, how's things going? That was the sermon from Christopher Bilbrey.
Yeah, right. Hello.
So, here's the thing. You have your own views. I have my own views. Together, we meet somewhere in the middle. And sometimes that middle is we're just going to agree to disagree.
Sure.
And that's okay, right?
Absolutely.
But you don't see that Chris has given up on me or I've given up on him. We keep moving forward because there's going to be people watching this who are not going to agree with either one of us. And that's okay. We want you to come back. We don't want you to not be involved because there'll be other talking points.
Nobody is going to agree 100% of the time.
Right.
I mean, think about this. You don't agree with your mother and father 100% of the time. You don't agree with your brother and your sister 100% of the time. You don't agree with your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your son or daughter. You don't even agree with yourself 100% of the time.
Right.
So we shouldn't think that any of us are going to agree with any other politician or each other 100% of the time. And the same thing goes with disagreeing. You're not going to disagree 100% of the time. It is what it is.
Well, and that's the whole thing is like Cindy Pontiff just pointed out, as long as we have the same goal, right? Well, to an extent.
Yeah.
As long as we have the same goal.
I'm glad you were saying that.
We have to not only have that same goal, but once we achieve that goal, we have to make sure that we're doing what's right by the people. What people have forgotten in Madison County is you really hold the power.
The people.
But what I'm noticing is everyone is so fearful of Russ and this cabal. It truly is a cabal, people. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. And the thing is, there's nothing to fear. The last time I looked, they put their pants on the same way we do. Yes, I get it. They own the prosecutors. They have royally screwed over Jamie Lynn. They have allowed her ex-husband to run amok, and he is somewhere in this United States, most likely committing the same crimes. And I hope that we're able to bring him back. I hope that when they bring him back, that they also charge the prosecutor's office and the judges who allowed him to run free with no bond and not putting stricter rules on him. I hope that that's the change we see as we evolve, because what we've been doing is no longer working. Whether you're a Trump fan or you're a Biden fan, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I'm all about the fact of what Trump is doing right now, because sometimes you got to rip everything completely apart in order to bring it all together. That's just the reality of it. And, if you've ever built a home, sometimes it's like, it's not worth repairing that home. We just got to start from scratch. So whether I'm not going to get into national debates with you. I'm just saying that everybody has a different way of looking at things. Biden had his 4 years. I don't think we got where we should have. Now we need to give Trump his 4 years. And that's just the reality of it. If we had an audit in Madison County, people would go to jail. Go and look at how much land the Lycans have acquired. Why? Because they had the inside scoop. They were in there before, things went on the market. That's the reality of it, people. This is illegal. It's like insider trading. So, it'll be interesting what the fallout to this conversation is tomorrow or for the weeks to come. And that's just, it is what it is. I take a lot of, I'd say, constructive feedback from people, but I'm not like, well, I'm never going to talk to you again, and we're just never going to be friends again. I'm not like that. And that's just the reality of what's going on. The question is the devil that you know, is it better than the devil you don't know? Right? Well, Madison County's never had the opportunity to know the other side because it's been run by this cabal, right? You guys kind of got duped by your mayor. I'm hoping that doesn't become the case here in Madison County. Now, I've seen Dr. Ackerman, I've seen Lisa Rinker. It'll be interesting to see because both of them are very polished. They're very politically correct. But sometimes you have to rip off the Band-Aid. Sometimes you just got to throw it all out there.
Well, right? that's a really good thing, because I've got 3 specific points that I've put up in here, and that's a really good point. And I think the first part of that is toxic positivity. Listen to what I'm saying. Not positivity, not being polite, not smiling. There's room for all sorts, okay? That's why not every single one of us can play the role that each other plays. We all have specific roles, okay? You and I'm just going to call it how it is. You and I are probably not made to be political candidates because from my perspective, you and I are not going to kiss the ass or play the game of being politically correct. And sometimes that comes off as a little uncouth for people or whatnot. Now, I kind of resent that because what people look at is what we're saying here on our time. You don't have to listen. If you don't want to listen to this, if you don't like what's being said, you can go away. Nobody ever does. People, I found out the other day that Mayor Bob watches this religiously, has told us, and I've not talked about Bob McCoy. Yeah, right.
Watches religiously.
What's mind-boggling to me is I've not mentioned Winchester or Bob McCoy in 6 months or more, a year, and he still watches. So
I'm flattered.
Yeah,
I'm flattered. And here's the thing: if people want true representation, then you want candidates like us running.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing.
But you know what the problem is? Fear.
Yeah, you're right. Right.
People are afraid. What happens if Katherine and Chris rip off the Band-Aid? What will it expose? Will it expose me?
Yeah.
None of us are perfect people.
That's the point. Is the bottom line?
You're human.
I'm fine with realizing that there are people out there. I'm fine with understanding that Stephen Brand can work everybody in the room. Some people that turn off. There's people that turns off. It doesn't me, because I realize there are people that have to be able to play the game. I know where Stephen stands. So I'm okay with him being politically savvy. Okay. I just am not built that way. So I do what I do. He does what he does. You do what you do. Lisa does what she does. There's room for us all here. The thing that you're talking about. But you got to
stay diversified.
Right. That's the whole problem.
You have to. And Kyle Pierce, I'm going to say something about Kyle Pierce.
Okay.
Now,
you want to remind everybody who Kyle Pierce is?
Kyle Pierce is the state representative for part of Madison County, and maybe it includes Delaware County. I really don't know his whole area, because Kyle only shows up when he wants somebody's vote.
Sure.
Just going to tell you that. This person, Meg here, I don't know who this person is, but I'm going to put this up. Saw your post, Catherine. I asked Kyle in the next one, she is Kyle Pierce, about how I could make changes for domestic victims. And he said he couldn't help me, told me to find somebody else. That is Kyle Pierce.
Yes.
That is the true Kyle Pierce, people. What's so damning about that is he's an attorney.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? He's an attorney. And all I heard last week is, well, don't be so harsh on Kyle. He's in session. Listen, Kyle just passed a bill about finance reporting. Where was he during this whole thing with Russ Willis? He wasn't in session in December. He wasn't in session, I don't think, back in August when I filed. Was he in session September, October, November, and December? Where was he? Where was he in January when we were going through the hearing and the finals of it? Where was he? Where was he saying we can no longer have this? If Kyle's so involved in the movement, making this world better, making bills, well, here's the thing. Bills, why don't you take some toilet paper and wipe your rear end with it? Because they don't really matter if you can't enforce them and there's no type of consequence. And clearly what we've just seen in Madison County, there are no consequences for how Russ Willis behaves.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, people, it's your fault.
Yeah.
You allow it.
Yeah.
You fill a room with 200 people, makes it very uncomfortable for those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know how we know? Because Ben Gale and Anthony Emery didn't come back because they were uncomfortable. They knew things were getting out of control and they no longer could keep a lid on this.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. No matter who wins, whether it be Kelly Hugh or Lisa Rinker, they're still going to unravel. It's going to continue to unravel because people are going to begin to run for things that you have no control over. And you have no idea what those people are capable of doing. Absolutely. Believe me, 5 years ago, when Troya Abbott and I decided to run for coroner, I can tell you, fast forwarding 5 years, they could have never imagined the movement that I've been behind. I didn't give up on the people. I stayed in there because of the people, because of the way I was treated. I'll never let somebody be treated like that. And if that means putting my reputation or my neck on the line because I'm going to expose something or give information out, then I'm going to do it because I'd rather be known as transparent, to the point, and I don't know, cutthroat, if that's the word you want to use for it. Like, nobody get excited that I'm using it the wrong way. But how else are we going to do it? Because this tipping toe around, it's not working.
Well, okay, so let me give it a little example that kind of highlights what you're talking about. And this is what I hear a lot. And you could take this and you could apply this. I'm going to tell you, it's happening in Delaware County right as we speak. It's funny. Katherine called me this weekend and she started calling me on Thursday. And like an hour before I talked to Katherine on Thursday, I had heard from somebody in Delaware County. And the person I talked to in Delaware County shared the same information going on in Delaware County that then Katherine called and shared to me the same information that was going on in Madison County. And then on Friday, I talked to a couple of people on Friday, and then I talked to Katherine a couple times. And it was like they were sharing the same script, but just talking, one from Delaware and one from Madison. And then I talked to Katherine and some people on Saturday, and it was the same thing. So we're going through the same thing right now in Delaware and Madison County. But let me tell you something. They're going through the same thing right now in Marion County. They could very well be going through the same thing in Henry County. You could apply this to any one of Indiana's 92 counties or anywhere else out in the United States. So let me tell you what happens. There's a group of people who get dissatisfied with, and you could apply this to a sitting mayor. You could apply this to a state representative. You could apply this to governor. You could apply this to the president. A group of people are upset with how a political person is doing. And let's just say it's the political party chairman. So let's say the Republican Party chairman or the Democrat Party chairman. So there's a group of people that are not happy with how this person is behaving. And this group of people say, we want to do better. And there's a whole big movement of outsider people that say, yeah, we don't like this person. So what happens is you get a small grouping of people start meeting. And these people say, we're going to take this person down. We're going to do it. And they start, meeting and negotiating and plotting. And soon what this turns into is maybe they have enough to take the person out, maybe they don't. But what it turns into is now there's someone that you don't like at the top, but the group that you're counting on to take them out, well, now they're keeping secrets. They're letting information in and out. They don't want to tell this person because we don't know if this person's trustworthy. That's the whole problem with the first guy. So I don't want to send a group of people in to take over that's going to do the same damn thing as the first person. I might as well just keep the other first person. And so what we have to keep everybody in mind about is this needs to be a come one, come all. This needs to be a, oh, you're a conservative, you're a Republican, come on aboard. Oh, and on the other side, oh, you're a Democrat, you're a liberal. And because they're both dealing with it right now. They're both dealing with it right now.
And here's the thing. If I were going through this process myself, right, I would be documenting this for the entire public to see, because I'd be running my campaign totally on transparency.
Yes.
I want you to see what I'm dealing with. And I'm telling you, a lot more people have dealt with this, whether they're PCs or they're not PCs. At the end of the day, we're fighting for the community. That's who we're fighting for.
Yes. Or we need to be.
I have no vested interest in this. And Bree and those guys know I can't always keep up with the comments that are going along the side. So I was reading them for once while you were doing this, because they're kind of used to me. I just get all enthralled in what I'm doing. I know who this Meg is now. This Meg reached out to me a couple months ago, and her mom allegedly has been murdered in Madison County. And there's several people actually reached out to me about this case. And I don't disagree after looking through the document. There's lots of problems with that case. Lots, huge, major problems with that case. And Meg, I don't know if you knew, but I did try to caucus in as the coroner. And when I was the coroner or chief deputy coroner, we made a lot of headways on a lot of different cases that we could. And so I get where she wants a new coroner. It said that she has nowhere to turn. She has now watched her mother die at the hands of domestic abuse, whether it was intentional or if it wasn't. But she has nowhere to turn. She went to her state rep, Kyle Pierce, nowhere to turn. I don't know if she's been to Senator Gaskell yet or not. Good luck with that.
He's even more worthless than
I mean,
Kyle.
It's going to be real interesting here in 2026 because they both ran their campaigns on term limits. Well, here we are. I mean, I'm just saying. And so, and just like, Russ Willis is talking about, well, he believes in term limits too. So it's time for him to go. Well, you know what? Take your entire team with you because they're all termed out too.
Yeah.
And it is time to give Lisa Rinker and Dr. Ackerman a fresh voice, but we still don't know who's coming to the table. There are still people who could potentially show up at this caucus and run.
Sure. Listen, and I want to be very clear. I'm not, nothing I'm saying is negative about Lisa. I'm just saying this could be applied to anybody. I want Lisa and Dr. Ackerman to win.
We fully support them. We fully support them. And if you read what I said, what's coming and what's to come, we don't know.
Right.
We believe that Lisa and Dr. Ackerman are going to do the right thing. I believe they're going to do the right thing, but people can get easily duped.
Yeah.
I will say on behalf of Kyle Pierce, duped.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no other way to do it. People, I can't stress to you enough, and I know there's lots of PCs from Madison County watching this. If there is anything in anybody's mind that thinks that Kelly Hewer has more experience than Lisa Rinker, you need to go have your head examined. You haven't been in the game long enough, and you haven't been watching this. Because I'm telling you right now, for the last 2 days, my phone has been flooded with text messages. I'm greatly appreciated from that. Russ did finally send out the letters, but with that letter announcing it, he had a pink letter in there talking about Kelly Hewer. So this is a problem. This is a problem that he has had these, this list. He only has Kelly Hewer in there slated when he knows that Dr. Ackerman's running He knows that Lisa Rinker's running. Why didn't he take something off of one of their posts, put it in the envelope? I mean, he can do Rick too.
He could have took their newspaper article,
right?
Just the same way he did. That's what the pink slip was.
Right. And here's the thing. Connie Gardner's fully aware that this crap's going on. Kelly Hewer's fully understanding that this crap's going on. Rob Steele's completely clear that this stuff's going on. And they all have had enough time to say, Russ, this is wrong. We must put all the people inside this envelope. But Kelly Hewer fails once again. Why? Because she's a puppet for Russ, people.
Yeah.
There's nothing good about Kelly Hewer.
Well, and let me tell you, and
I'm sure you're doing that in Delaware County.
Well,
hey,
no, I'm sad to say. So I made a post on Facebook last night. I think it was last night or the day before. Yeah, it was yesterday. And it says, hot take. Small groups of outsiders that attempt to take over corrupt, do-nothing local political parties by creating small groups of people that don't welcome other outsiders, that keep information and secrets, and that think that they alone call the shots. Well, really, it makes them no different than the corrupt, do-nothing local political parties that they are trying to overtake. And I mean that. What's weird about that is I started to write that a couple of different ways since Thursday. And the first way I started to write it, I started to say, I'm disappointed in Delaware County and I'm jealous of Madison County. And the reason I said that was because you guys have actually taken the initiative to work. And now this was something that you did in the last year. So there's nothing that we can do about it now.
On this for 4 years.
But specifically with the precinct committee people decided to file. They filed
for 4 years.
They ran. And now what's happened is you have precinct committee people in place where an actual shot at the seat is possible. In Delaware County, we're not going to be taking a shot at Ed Carroll. Ed Carroll is going to waddle his way into another 4-year term as Republican Party chairman, while anyone that has half of a brain knows that Ed Carroll is a worthless do-nothing sack of shitty do-nothings. Like everybody knows that he's not a good leader. He is a feckless, indigent little creature that needs to not be in the auditor's position or in the party position, but he's going to be there. So I'm proud of you guys because you're taking a shot, you're lining stuff up. Now, you know that they're going to do everything they can to cheat and to get over on you and to, the pink slip this and send stuff out to their people ahead of time. That's the reason you guys have to bust butt for the next 2 weeks in making sure that people can get there, making sure that people can be there, making sure that they're there at 9:00 with their IDs that are not expired, not valid, making sure that it's got their, you got enough time to get to the BMV. Look at your driver's license. If they're expired, if you need to update your address, go do this stuff, because I'm telling you, they'll look for every reason to not let your people vote come the 1st.
So I want to show you, and again, I sent this to you in Facebook Messenger. I want to show you people how close in similarity Kelly Hewer is to Russ Willis. Kelly Hewer is just a Russ Willis in a skirt. People, understand this.
Okay, is it the whole message you want me to share?
Yeah, start with the first one. So this person who's one of the voting parties reached out to Kelly Hewer about a week ago. She's like, hey, I don't have my letter, right? So she says, hey, I'm so-and-so. And the only reason why I scratched this out is because it's really irrelevant because we have several.
Wait a minute. The phone number's on there though.
That's Kelly's. It's Kelly Hewer's. So that's okay. It's Kelly Hewer's.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, yeah, show that all the way.
All right.
So just to prove to you people that this is Kelly Hewer really responding. That's why I'm comfortable.
Okay. I'm fine.
Yeah. So this is Kelly Hewer.
What's that?
And so they asked Kelly about these.
Hold on. I love that. That's a nice thumbnail. Here's the thumbnail for tonight. Yeah. It looks beautiful.
So they asked Kelly Hewer about this letter because they haven't gotten one. Now, this is just one. I have several of these. What's Kelly's standard answer?
It says the letters are mailed by chair per state party rules. I checked and have been told all VPCs were mailed a meeting notice. Meeting is March 1st, 9:30 a.m. at Mill Creek Civic Center. Next thing says, sorry to bother you.
Wait,
again.
You got one in there.
Oh,
so she wrote her back.
This one. Oh yeah.
She writes back.
Thank you.
No, sorry to bother you again.
Wait, okay, so that's that one. Sorry to bother you again. That's what I had up. I wanted to ask, since I'm new to all of this, I read on Facebook that Mr. Willis told someone he only sent the letters to certain PCs and VPCs. Do you know if that's true? It's Facebook, so who knows right. Since you are running to be the next party chair, I was hoping to get your thoughts on it.
How did she come back? Copy and paste.
The letters are mailed by, it's the exact same damn thing. So that's ridiculous. People,
you need to understand, Kelly Hewer is no good.
Yeah,
she's got to go.
Same thing.
She's got to go. And here's the thing, I wish that we would see more of this because I can't be the only one that's getting information like this. Some people may not find it, I don't know if Lisa Rinker's getting this. I don't know if Dr. Ackerman's getting stuff like this, but
I'm sure they are.
Stuff, you want to show the community. You got to show the community. This isn't being mean. This isn't talking bad about somebody.
No.
This is just documenting the whole process.
Now, it's being real. Toxic positivity has no role. That brings me to the next point, which is politics is not for the faint-hearted, and that is very true. This is not a kiddie sport. It's we all need to pull up our our underwear, our panties, our big boy and big girl shorts and pants or whatever, and realize that this is everyone always says like, oh, it's horrible. Politics has gotten so nasty and so horrible, and I hate it. And look at what Trump's done to the political rhetoric. And that is not true. Politics have been nasty, cutthroat for as long as there have been something like this, and it is what it is. And we just need to realize.
Why is Mikhail Vaughn's picture on this thumbnail tonight? Well, I'm going to tell you why Mikhail Vaughn's face is on this.
People are asking that?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you why his face is on this thumbnail tonight. Because Mikhail has been running around wanting to be chair or run for something. He wants back in it so badly. But and Mikhail, if you're watching, I'd say this to your face. You're the number one person who would talk crap about people behind their back. And that in itself is no room in politics. You got something to say? Say it.
Yeah. No, all right. So I'll tell everybody let's go through this real quick. So at the top here, we see myself and Katherine, obviously. And these people are not put on here in any specific order. I just made them look fairly neat. That's just how I did. Okay. So you've got in the top. Okay. So you've got myself and Katherine left to right in the top box. And then in the middle row, you've got what was he? Bullshit. Bullshit man. Whatever. Mikhail Vaughn, former county councilor, who, whatever, he was like, my attorney told me I can't talk to you.
Yes.
Well, that didn't happen. If that is your attorney, you need to hire a new attorney. He shouldn't have a law license. That didn't happen, though. McHale's just a liar. He shouldn't be anything, but he has the ability to run. Apparently, he's a Republican in good standing. I've heard that he wants to run for something, so I've heard that he could be in there. Then you've got Lisa, what's her last name? Rinker. I always get her maiden name mixed in there. Lisa Rinker and Dr. John Ackerman, and that's the Republican, like, you got the bullshit man, and then what I would consider the Republican outsiders. Okay, and then across the way, you've got Democrats in Delaware County, left to right. That's Jerry Dishman. He's currently the vice chair of the Democrat Party. You then have Anna Quirk Hunter, who is just an absolute train wreck of a person right now. She currently is the chair of the Democratic Party, but she is single-handedly trying to destroy her family's law firm. She's causing great chaos with her sister. She's apparently wants to run for judge, but she's giving up the party. I don't know. Jerry wants to be chairman. You've also got Andrew Dale, who wants to be chairman. And then next to Andrew Dale, you've got Joanne McKinney, who's the wife of Mark McKinney, former prosecutor, now defense attorney. She wants to be vice chair, so you've got a whole big cabal there. And then you in the bottom corner from left to right, you've got Slug Ed Carroll. He's Delaware County Republican Party chair and the Delaware County elected auditor. Of course, he's been in that seat as auditor. He's never faced an opponent. You know, he's always got in there without an opponent, so he's never been tested in an actual election. And then the yellow one, skip a person. The yellow one is Jessica Piper. She's the vice chair of the Republican Party in Delaware County. She's also a Delaware County councilor. And then in between Ed and Piper, you've got Joe Boyce. And I don't know how she wound up there. She stumbled in here. I woke up and she was in that pile somehow. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. I don't know. I think somebody hit me over the head and put her in there. I don't know. Joe Boyce there. She's a Republican in Delaware County. Who knows what that means? Then next to that, you've got Russ Willis, the Republican chairman. And then you've got Kelly Hewer, his puppet and pet. And then what's funny is I connected by a chain the Democrat chairman, Terry Austin, to the Republican Party because... yeah, I mean, she might as well be part. She's like the Republican auxiliary. There is no Democrat Party in Madison County. She's like Republican light or Republican heavy or Republican auxiliary, whatever. She's just attached to Russ and Kelly, and so it is what it is. But those are just examples of the people who are currently embroiled in this thing that's going on.
Well, and the thing is I want to show everybody why Russ Willis has to go and why Kelly Hewer has to go. And so I just sent you a picture. This is Russ from this week of what he sent out via text, people. I want to show you this. So bring up that text that I just sent to you in Messenger. Read this.
This says... wasn't found guilty of anything. What a weird sentence. Who wasn't, dumbass? Wasn't found guilty of anything. If you're talking about roofer Rob issue, there isn't even a law that could have been broken on that issue. Brian Williams researched it, and special prosecutor determined there was no law on SAT issue. Club finance report law allows defects to be corrected within 5 days of notice. Reports have been filed like that for over 50 years and no issue. Some people reach for the stars with their accusations. I'm done with this back and forth. Thought you could see through the craziness for what it really is. A few that want their way and will go to extreme measures to try and get it. Take care.
So now I just want everybody to be crystal clear. This is why they have to go. Because why? Pull that other one that I just sent to you, Christopher. Linda Smith likes to say that Katherine can't read. Well, I'm not sure that Russ can read, because right here it says he was found guilty, but he won't face any consequences.
Yeah, I mean, this is really easy. The election board responded appropriately in this situation. It made itself accountable to the public through the transparency and candor in addressing Mr. Willis' error on May 7th, 2024, and it acted swiftly to ensure it doesn't happen again. The special prosecutor thus declines to file charges against Mr. Willis in this matter. Even though the matter is concluded, a comment on Mr. Willis's behavior is warranted. It's unclear if Mr. Willis denied access to Mr. Joswiak, Roofer Rob, as he rudely called him, to view the canvassing of votes because of an ignorance of the law and applicable election board policy, or simply because Mr. Joswiak didn't have credentials as required by the policy. Either reason is troubling and unacceptable. The chairman of the election board should know the laws and the policies concerning the election board. The chairman of the election board should also take reasonable steps to help a member of the public get the required credentials, especially when they are readily available, instead of curtly and dismissively denying a request to review vote canvassing. Madison County voters should rightfully expect more from one of its public officials.
Now, for everybody who's not from Madison County, and for you people who are from Madison County, who is Brian Williams? Brian Williams used to be in the prosecutor's office. He was a public defender.
No, you're saying this wrong. He was not.
You say it.
He used to be if he was in the prosecutor's office, he was not a public defender. If he was in the prosecutor's office, he was a deputy prosecutor.
Yes. Okay. So
he is now apparently a Madison County public defender.
But he's not just a public defender. Put that picture up that I just sent to you. I want everybody to see. This is how deep the corruption is in Madison County. This is why we can't get where we need to go, because you got it everywhere in the prosecutor's office. You got it in the public defender's area. You got it in the prosecutor's office. You got Brian Williams, who's teetered on both sides. And now he's the chief administrative.
Yeah.
I mean, and look how much money he's getting.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's an attorney. He's capable of anybody going in and hiring him for criminal defense or civil defense work. But on top of that, he is also the chief administrative public defender of Madison County, who's currently pulling in $107,000 in tax dollars a year for his job. And as Adam said up here, what was the chief public defender doing? Apparently providing legal input to someone who could afford their own attorney. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see or know or hear where
under investigation.
Well, sure. Now that's okay, because someone who's under investigation should be afforded an attorney. The point being is did he hire Brian? Was Brian his attorney? Was Brian working as a public defender? He should have been working as a public defender, because first of all, this wasn't a criminal case at that point. But second of all, if Russ can afford his own attorney, so that's very strange.
Well, but this is the abuse of power that is going on. And you know what? You guys, Russ is going to drag you guys all down the poop chute, And so is Kelly Hewer, because as long as these people stay in place, we're going to keep digging. So I want to just tell everybody, you know what, Kelly Hewer, you need to put your vote in for Dr. Ackerman and for Lisa Rinker.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm just telling you, you want to save yourself a lot of headache and a lot of turmoil, because every time you turn around, Kelly Hewer's crying on somebody's heartstrings. Oh, Micah, will you back me? Will you be a part? Well, everybody, I'm such a good person. I don't know why everybody hates me. I'm not associated. Give me a break. Take a breath.
Yeah, I don't really truly understand why. I mean, if it's a secret vote, so she could walk in there and vote for Lisa and Ackerman. That would be no problem. But talking about Micah, why is Micah not getting involved with this? Micah should be getting involved with, meaning Micah Beckwith, the lieutenant governor. This would not be the first party race he's getting involved in. I'm hearing that he is involving himself in other races, not in his home county. So there would be no reason why he couldn't get involved with this and
I
say,
don't
hey,
know why.
Change.
Yeah, I don't know why Micah Beckwith wouldn't get behind this, because Kelly Hewer was not a Micah Beckwith fan.
Yeah, no.
I mean, she didn't show up in Micah Beckwith gear. She didn't go door to door for Micah Beckwith. She is a Braun fan.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
I don't understand why Mike is like, yeah, I'm going to pick sides. I was in this position. I was the underdog for lieutenant governor. Let me get behind these people. I don't understand that. I can't speak on behalf of Micah. It does make me scratch my head when I saw something out about John Smits, and that, Micah has gotten behind him. Now, I like John. I'm okay with that. I just want to know why Micah won't take a firm stance. I want to know why Senator Gaskell, who hates Russ Willis, won't take a stance. I want to know why Kyle Pierce won't take a stance. Because
you know why they won't.
Here's the thing, because they want to be politically correct just in case.
Just in case
Kelly wins.
Yeah, or Russ. I mean, they don't really know. And that ought to tell everybody something, because it ought to be a shoe-in for Kelly, and they ought to come out swinging for Kelly, but they're not so sure. So they're not going to speak up, because Lisa could win or Kelly could win. And so that's very telling.
Yeah,
in and of itself.
We cannot live in fear, people.
Yeah, I can't
and
stand
our
that.
elected officials live in fear?
Cannot stand that.
And want to teeter on each side of the fence? No, absolutely not.
People want to hate on Ryan Webb, but I'm telling you what, that man did not vote. He did not debate. He did not speak. He did not act or live in fear. He said what he said. He stood behind what he said. He right, wrong, or indifferent. You like it, you don't. You love him, you hate him. He did not govern in fear, and that's why people don't.
And I would have voted for Ryan Webb, but I didn't live up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and this is what's going on. This right now, people, you own this county, not them. Call your PCs. Call your vice PCs. Tell them how you feel. And I'm going to tell you what, there's a lot of people that are unwilling to sign off on Kelly and Lisa because they just don't know how things are going to turn. They're worried about their future. And I will tell you this, I'd be taking notes to every bit of this. If I were in these organizational seats watching how this whole thing is running down. And I will tell you, if Lisa and Dr. Ackerman do not win, they just got duped by a whole bunch of PCs and vice PCs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean, I will
go ahead.
I will say for the first time, we are better than Delaware County. We got people in position. We
yeah,
have,
no
I mean,
question.
we are. Usually we have you beat hands down in the corruption part, but this time we got it together. But
I
this
don't
is gonna
know.
move
I don't think that's a true statement. You might, as far as the leadership of the party. I think it's almost worse when it's the actual elected officials doing it. And the reason I'll tell you this, because at the end of the day, I don't give a damn about these parties whatsoever. You know what I wish we'd do? You know what I really wish we'd do? I wish they would just all implode. I wish that the Democrat Party at the local level would just go away. I wish the Republican Party would go away. You know what would be better than anything is to look at Russ and say, God, you know what? You got it. You go over there and you be the party chairman until your last breath, and you run in your circle with John Richwine or whatever, and everybody that could happen.
Well, don't forget, and Terry Austin and Tim.
Oh yeah, the whole go. Yeah, the whole go.
It's a uniparty in Madison County.
That could happen though if people would actually get off their asses, get informed, start voting, and doing those things. That could happen. But the problem we have is they don't do that. So then that's what gives the party power. If we truly want to take party power away from these idiots, and I mean that at the Democrat, Republican, at all levels of local party, they're all horrible and they all should just implode. If we could get that to happen, the only way we could get that to happen is if we had more citizen involvement. And that's what we truly need.
Well, and we keep saying this is a grassroots.
Ugh, I hate that term.
I don't really know. But people, what this really needs to be is a transparent route.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it honestly does. I mean, Russ has finally given up the PC list. But that's
amazing.
Right? That list, he made Lisa sign a non-disclosure. So she's stuck in the water. But I'm very confused with the meaning of a non-disclosure.
Wait. Did she sign the non-disclosure?
Something like that.
I don't like that.
Right. But, well, I understand somewhat why she had to do it because he wouldn't have given it to her. But
he's sticking up your ass.
Well, that's kind of how I feel about it. But we already have the list.
Yeah, right.
Much, right. But this is the whole part with the games and the charades.
Yes,
why didn't Kelly Hewer stand up and say, you know what? I have the list, Lisa. Let me just give it to you. As a matter of fact, Russ has already started sending out letters 2 weeks ago. Let me give you the list. Right? I don't understand this whole process. I wouldn't play Russ Willis's game. I'd be putting him on video saying, hey, this is what Russ is asking me to do.
And let me tell you, that brings us to the third point. Well, she said to have money attached. I don't know what that means. You mean if she broke it? Like, I don't really know. Here's the thing.
It's a public record. What is this?
If she breaks the NDA, then he could say she's not ineligible to run. So he's got her over a barrel. But that brings me to the last point, or that third point there, which is politics is most definitely a blood sport. And I'm not going to do anything like that. That's the same bullshit we do here in Delaware County with people. We make deals and we say, oh, well, we can't beat you because we're not even going to attempt to beat you because we don't have the votes. Well, you're never going to beat somebody if you don't try.
Right.
If you don't try to beat somebody, you're never going to beat somebody.
Exactly. And the thing is, if you don't, they have to rip this whole Band-Aid off the county. They just have to. The way it's been can no longer be. It's not working.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, yeah. And that's the thing. And people, when we say it's a blood sport, that's figuratively speaking,
yeah,
right? Mm-hmm. It's like the Hunger Games, without death. The death is them no longer running. Okay, that's the win. Ben Gale, Anthony Emery, no longer running. That's the win.
Yeah.
Russ Willis wants to say that your show had nothing to do with why he's not running. Okay. I find that hard to believe, right? But whatever floats your guys' boat, that you can sleep at night and believe that. But what has happened here? Kelly Hewer, Connie Gardner, Rob Steele, Russ Willis, you have hurt the people.
Yeah.
That is the problem. And that's what I have a problem with. And that's why I've stayed in the game for so long, because that's what has happened.
Real quick, back up here to Cindy. So Cindy said, what? Did it have money attached? So like, you mean, like, explain to me what you mean, Cindy. Like, did it have money attached? Like did she have to buy it? She didn't have to buy it, did she?
No, it's an electronic form. Why the state wouldn't give it to her, I have no idea. As a matter of fact, anybody who's watching from Madison County, this is what I suggest you do. This is what I suggest. I suggest that everybody in Madison County write to Russ Willis. Okay?
Yeah.
This is what I suggest. And this is his email.
Okay.
His email is Russ, R-U-S-S.
Hold on. Say it and I'll put it up. Or she can put it in the...
Russ, R-U-S-S, Dena, D-E-N-A, 73 at AOL.com.
He still uses AOL.
Okay. I suggest you tell him you're running for a seat on the reorganization and you want a copy of the PC list. That's what I recommend. I recommend all of you to do that. Okay. Now, you can always withdraw your candidacy after you get the PC list, but legally he has to give it to you. So I suggest you people write to him and see. I mean, we're pretty close here. We're past the 10-day mark, or we're getting close to the 10-day mark. So you're supposed to have it 10 days before the caucus. And then you know what I say you do? You put it all over social media.
Yeah.
These people have chosen to be servants to the people. Well, let's get it on. Your number's out there. My number's out there. Let's get it on. I mean, the only way through this, people, this is the only way through.
This is the weird thing. So this is the weird thing. So yes, K76 is right. It's not a public record like requesting it from the thing, because it is a private political party. So it's the same thing as like a motorcycle gang or like the Kiwanis or something like that. Knights of Columbus, because it is a private. It's private. But here's always the catch-22 with this, right? So taxpayers fund the elections for precinct committee people. So taxpayer dollars fund the elections for us to elect the Republicans precinct committee people and the Democrats precinct committee people. If they wanted to stop doing that and they wanted to hold those internally, then I would be fine with them holding on to these documents. The other thing that they need to do is, or what they could do is, they could start just monitoring who runs and who wins, keep track of who wins.
And that's what we did.
That's what you guys did.
That's what we did.
And then you would know.
I mean, come on. And you know what's even more interesting? You know, that incompetent Linda Clerk who doesn't think I can read?
Yes.
For some reason, the primary results are not up on the Madison County.
Hold on, back up. Pause 1 second here real quick. K76, when you say that's a lie, what's a lie? Are you talking about the NDA?
When he said that.
Adam is then saying it wasn't an NDA. It was a GOP user agreement, which you are required to sign by Rule 2.-4. Rule 2-4, the state secretary may provide upon valid request and receipt of a signed agreement in the form prescribed from qualified primary Republican who's bona fide candidate, office holder, or party officer, a complete list of Indiana Republican Party organization for the election of the district requester candidacy or office by accepting the possession of the list of an individual. Yeah. Well, so this is what I was going to say earlier. All right. Dave Williams here says releasing the PC committeeman list would be a bad idea because he's not owned by the state. It's owned by the Republican Party. Here's what I would do. So this is what,
you know what, David Williams, I don't agree with that, because the committee men are the people who are supposed to get things fixed in your area. How are people supposed to come into contact with these people if we don't have a list out there telling people who's over their area?
Well, that's what I mean, he's technically right. What he and what K76 and what Adam are saying is absolutely right. But here's what I would do. Here's how I'm hoping that you've got how many
Gary, Russ ain't going to give Lisa nothing.
No, yeah, right.
I got news for you. Yeah. She's getting a whole lot of nothing.
That happened in Delaware County. Every time there's a new takeover in Delaware County that's like someone from the outside, they have to build everything from the ground up. That's just how it is. So she'll have to do the same thing. But here, how many people do you have? How many PC precinct committee people do you have?
I think we've got 68.
No. Total. How many total does
111 people?
111. Here's what I'm hoping that some of the 68 that you have did. This is what I'm hoping for. If any of you out there are listening to this, this is what I'm hoping. Go in there on Saturday with the sole mission of voting to get rid of Russ. Put Lisa and Dr. Ackerman in. Record that son of a bitch meeting on your phone. All I need is 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 of you to record it, and 4 or 5 of you send it to me. So there's plausible deniability. No one else will ever know who did it. Record it audio, record it video, whatever you want to do. Send it to me. You send it to me at my email address, which I'm going to put up here on the screen right now. This email address here, khbilbrey@gmail.com or tpsprogram@gmail.com. And you can get both of those email addresses right here. That's what I was looking for. You can put them up right there. And there's the email addresses. All I need is 3 or 4 of you to record it. Go in there with the idea that all that matters is they can kick you out or whatever. I would go in there. I would do whatever I could, and I would release the list. And if they want to kick me out or whatever, have at it. Kick me out. I've released the list. There it is. Have at me.
Well, and I don't know who just asked.
I know David doesn't agree with him. He's just saying, I'm just saying, all right, you kicked me out of the party. Okay.
Right. and that's why I'm saying, people, go ask for it. Say that you're going to be a bona fide candidate. If you decide to withdraw at the last minute, nobody can fault you. We all have a change of heart from time to time. I hope Kelly Hewer has a change of heart.
This is a battle, folks. This is war, man. This is what this is. This is political theater. This is politics being a blood sport. This is politics not being for the faint of heart. Okay, if they're willing to cheat and play dirty and be corrupt and do all of the stuff, it might not be right by party rules, but you're not breaking the law. All right.
Right. And for people who are watching, who see Adam, who is writing this, and I'm not going to tell you what his profession is, but he is a highly educated individual.
Adam is right.
Be no mistake. And I'm not going to tell you what he does, but he is a highly educated individual. So there's no reason not to listen to what Adam has to say on this show. Now, I just sent you a picture. Whoever asked the question, what will Russ give to Lisa? When we won as coroner, this is what we received. This is what the office looked like. This is before Chris and I ever got together on doing a show. This is how pissed off the Republican Party was that we won. This is what, no ceiling tile, no flooring. This is what, I've got several different views, but this truly is what we received. You could never have imagined and people want to know who are just now, you've been watching me for a couple of years, but never really knew the depths of what was going on. This is truly what was going on in the coroner's office.
They had to store the bodies in the filing cabinets.
I mean, you couldn't find anything. This is what you got. No working computers, no phone lines, wires coming out of the ceiling. This is what happened to us.
All right, hold on.
No, we can get back. I just wanted to show you, but we can get back to what's going on here.
Adam's saying this serious question. Why? Listen, here's the thing. I said beginning of the show, and I don't know if you were watching. First of all, and first and foremost, you have to understand. I could give a shit less about Republican and Democrat local parties. I, at this point, am an agent of chaos as far as they are concerned. I don't want them to exist. I don't want to give some idiot like Russ Willis or Ed Carroll or Tim Hyde or whoever else or Phil Nichols or Victor Whitehead. I don't want to give them, Ben Wells, the power to gatekeep and do any of that anymore. It's all nonsensical bullshit. They have done nothing but hurt the political process for years and years and years. So here is what I fully believe. They're doing everything they can to gatekeep, and they cheat and they skirt and they bend the rules. You know, when you bend a plastic hanger, a black plastic hanger, and you bend it enough where it doesn't break, but it's got the white in the plastic, they do that themselves to keep regular people out. And so all I'm saying is, I'm not telling, first of all, what's the first rule in this show that we've learned from the very beginning of time? My dad taught me this when I was very, very, very young. You can do anything that you want in this world as long as you're willing to pay the consequences. Number one, I'm never going to tell anybody to break the law, but party rules are not law. If you're a precinct committee person and you give a shit about Russ or someone at the state or whatever, go in and play by the rules. All I want is to create change. I want to take Russ out. So if I was a precinct, I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm saying if I was a precinct committee person, I'm telling you what I would do.
Right. And nobody's gonna do it. This county,
if they don't, that's stupid, but go ahead.
This county runs in fear. So
yeah,
there's only one person in this county who would go in and do something like that. And she's sitting on this show.
I don't know. I don't know. I would have to think that there's one or two or three people of that 68 that would do the right thing.
No, we have all conservatives over here and it's okay. I mean, I don't understand why it's not put on live video for everybody to see. I mean, when you look at the Senate and they're voting, it's all on TV.
I get why they do. I'm okay with them having their party rules and doing things because I'm okay with them doing it.
It feels like this is like a frat hazing situation.
I get what you're saying, Adam. Listen, dude. This is what I'm saying. Understand what I'm telling you here. I'm not saying pick your phone up like this and flat out record. I'm saying do this. Watch this. I'm sitting in my car eating my Egg McMuffin on Scatterfield Road at 8:45 on Saturday the 1st. And I sit here and I bump my voice recorder on my phone. And then I put my phone dark and I put it here and I take it and I walk it into Mill Creek Center and I set it on the table in front of me and it records. And I talk to the people in the room and I talk to them. So I'm engaged in the conversation and engaged in that. So it's meets the rule for one party consent. And I'm talking to people and doing this and that. And then I carry on about my way. I come out of there and I go boop. And then I send it to some dumbass named Kristopher Bilbrey via a fake email account. That's all I'm saying.
It's March 1st, Tim, at 9:30 at Mill Creek. is when this is. It's a Saturday. I mean, no what, these are all the things that this is a part of history that's going on in Madison County, and it really should be documented for the people. It really should be, because I do think we're going to win. I really do. And I think that's why they're pulling out all the stops.
It is.
We're clearly going to show how Kelly Hewer, like earlier in the show, is just going to send you a canned text. She's going to treat you just like how Russ has treated you. There's going to be no different. It was there's a paper called The Balance. And it's not a paper, but it's an email, and it's very well written, and it's unbiased, and it writes for the people of Madison County. And they are the ones who said that Kelly Hewer is often referred to as Russ in a skirt. And that's very true. And so, that paper is run by PCs as well. And I will tell you, I give them a lot of credit because they're putting themselves out there writing the truth. I mean, I posted today about The Balance. It was part of my post today, talking about, how everybody wants to talk about how Lisa's not qualified to do this, and how Kelly Hewer has the more experience, and that's why she really should be the one that's elected. People, what does she have experience in? Tell me, because I'd like to know what that experience is. Because when we were running for coroner, she wouldn't let us put anything up on the social media Facebook page. When we were running for coroner, she allowed the opponent to put their information up. She allowed to send out flyers and things for the opponent. Now, what you need to remember is that this was a 20-year-old kid we were running against, as opposed to a physician, and here's the thing. We can talk crap about Troy Abbott all day long, but at the end of the day, he didn't have a chance in hell in going through with this. I mean, he was beat up so badly. We have a chance with several people to make sure that Lisa and Dr. Ackerman are successful. This will work, and it's going to work. And so, we just have to see what will have to happen.
I've been through party reorganizational meetings many, many, many years, and I can tell you that there have been many things said and done in those party reorganizational meetings, which, if they would have been recorded, people would have lost their ever-loving mind. And I'm just saying that if there is one or two PC or vice PCs out there that's not capable of keeping focused on the plot at hand and also voice recording it, then my God, they probably shouldn't go on Saturday. If they're not capable of doing both, then they probably shouldn't be doing either.
If you would have been at my caucus, you would have been so disgusted.
Absolutely. I guarantee you.
And if it had been recorded, I could show you exactly. So when I went in for the caucus, I was told I couldn't have anybody with me.
Right.
Right. But Adam Matson shows up with his wife. And Russ tells me, oh, well, Adam can, have his wife. Well, yeah, because they're there because he already knows who's won the seat.
Yeah, right.
He already knows who won the caucus. Do you know how hard it is to walk into a room full of over 100 people by yourself, knowing what you're getting ready to go through? You want to talk about guts? That takes guts. I'm going to give it to myself, because I had to walk in there with my head held high.
Give it to you.
Right. Even though there was a lynch mob sitting right there for me.
I hear you.
It was all preset.
And this is how these people win, because they're able to keep this stuff behind closed doors, and they're able to stay with the whole idea of the 11th Amendment. We won't speak ill of any other fellow party. Bullshit. I love Reagan, but to hell with that idea.
Yeah, I mean, so this is going to be really interesting to see what happens with this whole movement. I mean, it's getting crazier and crazier in Madison County. You can't even believe it. I don't generally talk about, you couldn't go with me, Cindy. I could not take anybody with me.
They wouldn't let her take anybody in. He would not allow her.
I literally sat over in the corner in the front row all by myself, And then I had people like Michelle Daniels, who was a big advocate for us in 2020 to win up in Elwood, who wanted to sit right behind me and just glare at me and intimidate me like she's all this in a bag of chips. I got news for you people. There is nobody in this world that is going to glare at me, intimidate me, and make me feel like I'm going to go suck my thumb. It ain't happening. So you can keep all of your stink eyes and all of your bullying ways somewhere else, because it's not happening with Katherine. And so, and it's just the reality of it. And to each their own. I did it. I held up my I even went back to the back of the room and congratulated, Adam, and walked out with my head held high. Because why? I did it for the people. I knew what we were in store for. I know what we're going to get in store for. I mean, look at Meg. She can't get anywhere, and her mom has potentially been murdered. Now, if this guy starts dating somebody else and the next person gets murdered, what do? Do we file complaints about everybody who worked that case and everybody goes to jail because they were an accomplice, because nobody looked into this? I don't know, people, but at some point, something has to give. No,
nothing's going to give.
But here's the thing.
Point, it has
even
to be
my
taken.
spouse wouldn't have been able to come, Cindy. That's how crooked this was. They truly believe in their head that they can overpower me. Listen, people, this is not a joke what I'm getting ready to say. This is the truth. I was raised in a trailer park on the east side of Indianapolis. You can take the girl out of the trailer park, but you can never take the trailer park out of the girl. I'm not afraid, and I'm never going to be afraid. Fear never did anything. Can't never did anything. So I just want to be real clear. We can keep going down this road, Russ Willis and Kelly Hewer, but I'm not going to give up until we have turnover. So if you want some of this to stop, I suggest you vote Rinker and Ackerman.
Go in and vote.
Just telling you.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what you've done. It's okay. I can sleep at night that you voted them into the seat. It's fine.
Yeah.
Even your buddy Russ won't even know what you did.
Yeah.
Nobody
will know, Russ, that you voted. Is Russ saying, here's what's hilarious in Delaware County. In Delaware County, oh, no, he might have appointed himself Ed Carroll, the party chairman, who we're not even going to take a shot at this time. He got beat in his own precinct by David Williams. And I just got to tell you how absolutely proud of David Williams I am as a first-time candidate. He beat the party chairman in his home precinct for precinct committee's chairman.
Well, and I mean, that's the whole.
I love it.
Yeah, that's the whole part that shows you that. So when this all started with Russ, Jerry Alexander was running as PC as well.
Yeah.
Russ made people drop out of where Russ was the PC because Russ needed to be elected because he knew he could get bumped. So here's the thing. If Russ loses this caucus, if Kelly in the skirt, whatever, if she loses, Russ still gets to have his hand in the cookie jar a little because he's elected and cannot be removed. That's why he had to be elected.
Yeah, as PC, sure.
Yeah. So I want to show you. Okay, so I'm going to send you.
Cheryl's asking who counts the votes. They'll do the vote, and then they should have vote watchers. Do we know who the vote watchers are yet?
I don't know, except for I think Beeman's going to be a vote watcher, but I don't know anything other than that. Now, what happened in my caucus is you're in Mill Creek. If you've been in Mill Creek, there's a stage up in the front. And then there's all these people who sit in the audience. And sometimes he'll use the stage, sometimes he won't. And you get up and you get to do a 2 to 3 minute talk about yourself. And then what will happen, I think, in this caucus is that the chairs will go first. And so then everybody votes. So then they line up along the wall and they all start turning in their votes into a box. And then they'll start counting all of that. I would encourage people that you need to see the box before you start dumping things in there. And then they'll tally that. And then once,
if I were Lisa, I would want the box to be opened ahead of time.
Yes, I would too. Before they even
inspect both
and
boxes.
even like before the first person casts their ballot, that's when I would look in there. I wouldn't say at the beginning, because you guys are all distracted by listening to people up front speak. I'm not so sure they're not back there screwing around. So, I mean, that's my whole thing. So then after whoever wins, Lisa or Kelly, which will be Lisa, then Lisa takes control of the meeting at that point. And then they vote for the vice chair, the secretary, and the treasurer. So that's kind of how that all plays out. So it'll be interesting to watch all of that happen. So, but I want to show you a little bit more on how this deck is stacked. So if you pull up that video that picture that I just of the precincts, and I know we kind of talked about this, but
wait a minute. Are you saying that Janet beat Flanagan? Is that true, Janet? Ha! I hope that's true. That's amazing if that's true. I'm proud of you for doing that if that's true. I didn't know that. What do you want me to show?
Okay, so that's our precinct. I'm going to show people. This is how they have for years stacked the deck in Madison County. For years, they have done this to the people. So I'm going to show you on this precinct. I'm sending you this stuff right now.
This isn't even everybody. This is just...
Okay, so everybody take a look. Over here, if you're looking at the screen, it's going to be to your left. You see where Stony Creek 1 is?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Stony Creek 1. Rob Steele is a county councilman.
Yeah.
Okay. Rob Steele did not run in his area. Okay. But he's been assigned to Adams 3, and that is right over there. Now, let me tell you something, people. There's no way, no how that Rob knows anything's going on over in Adams 3. That is a haul. That is at least a 30-minute drive over there. Okay. Now, here's the other one. You see where Anderson 5-5 is up here to the top of the Anderson?
I got it right here.
Look, Anderson 5-5 over to the left a little bit.
Right here.
This is Anderson 5-5. Well, who lives in Anderson 5-5? That would be Wes Likens and Diana Likens. They did not run for PC. Okay. Because they don't have to. You know why? Because this is how deep the Likens go. He assigned Wes Likens to 2-2. That's in the center of Anderson.
Right here. Yeah.
Okay. Then he assigned Diana to 2-3. Okay. So both of them are PCs because he wants to make sure that they're controlled.
Yeah.
Okay. So he assigns those two to, you know how far that is? Let me tell you something. Wes Likens and Diana Likens are not pounding on anybody's door on the inner city of Anderson. I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Olivia Pratt is Wes Likens' vice.
That's hilarious.
Okay. And 2-2. Olivia Pratt lives down here in Fall Creek.
Yeah.
This is what I'm telling you, people. You know, and here's the thing. Shame on you, Olivia, because if Olivia is anywhere, she probably should be down here in Adams or somewhere down here in Green, because that's where she's the commissioner at. That's her district. But they don't care. Olivia Pratt doesn't care. This is all about the win. This is all about stacking the deck. This is how it's done, people. Whether you're in Delaware County, whether you're in Blackford County, whether you're in Allen County, this is how it's all done. Unless the community is involved and the people are running for their seats, this is how they get it done. They get to put people in these positions. So I'll be putting more out about this as we go into the future of this caucus, because what I want people is for you to learn. I want us to educate you for the masses, and if you want to know, for Diana Likens Tutu, her person's coming from Monroe up, and that's up in the Alexandria area. So that's all the way. I don't even know if I have it on this map.
It's not.
Yeah. So it's above.
It's up off screen.
It's above Richland and stuff. So that's, look at the whole of that. You think Alexandria knows what's going on in 2-2? No. And so, and here's the thing. There were seats that they could be better representation of that was closer to their homes. Or, here's a news flash. Kelly could get off of her big rear end and go out and knock on some of these precincts and make it happen and recruit people who truly represent that area. Jim Abram, he lost in the primary for the county council.
Yeah.
He's been assigned up in Pipe Creek.
That's crazy.
All the way up in Pipe Creek. Listen, the people didn't want him. Why are you making him a PC?
Yeah.
Jerry Alexander, he didn't want to go head to head with Russ. He bowed out and took his name off the list as PC for that area because they live in the same area, but yet he's been assigned to an area that's nowhere close to where he lives. This is just ludicrous, and it needs to stop. But I want people to understand what's going on and how we're getting here. We need to see Meg is a young girl. Bree is a young girl. These guys need to be voting, and they need to be running as PCs. They need to be running for things. They need to be doing things and getting actively involved. This is the only way through this. Clearly, even if you have a law degree and you're an elected official, you're not going to help somebody with domestic violence.
Yeah, no.
That's a problem. And it's a huge one.
Well,
it's just awful. What that tells you is he wants the easy way. Sometimes it's not easy.
At the end of the day, it's not like, in all fairness, Kyle Pierce isn't the prosecutor. He's not a police officer, but he could do a lot to say, here's who you need to go to. This is what you need to do. But to just say, screw it, this is not my part, and I'm not saying he specifically said that, but I don't know what he said in this case. I'm just saying to not help at all is ridiculous. That's
what I mean, to guide her, to give her some structure. These are young people. I gave my opinion to Meg. I was like, I'd be putting this all over social media. I'd be grabbing the attention of everybody. And people will say, Katherine, you can't put everything on social media. Well, we're not getting anywhere, people. So what do we have to lose? What do we have to lose? The paper's not going to report about it. Yep. In the paper, when they do report, they're going to report it the way that they're told to report it because they own the paper.
You got to meet the people where they're at, and the people are on social media.
And that's exactly where they're at. And you got to hope that somebody bigger than us is picking up on this. That's, and that's right, Meg. He can help write bills. There are things that can be done. That people, in life, it doesn't matter how much education you have. It helps. Doesn't matter how much money you have. It helps. It's all about who you know. Right? And that's the bottom line. It's all about who you know. And I will tell you, things have gotten so out of control. And I don't know, Bree, if she's on here, send Kristopher in Messenger the video of city council. I don't ever get in the middle of city council for Anderson. I don't get in the middle of their politics. But this was truly the beginning of the meeting, and it was off the chain. This is why we have to have people run for office. In the beginning of the city council meeting, they're wanting to remove public comment, with the caveat that if you contact like the clerk's office a couple days before and tell them what you want to talk about, then they might let you speak. Now, I don't know about you, Kristopher, but I think tonight when all these people got on this show, I don't know that any of them said, oh, this is exactly what I'm going to talk about. as people talk, discussions come up.
Mm-hmm.
And so to say people have to sign in and already know what they're going to say, that's not even intelligent. You need to have discussion and then allow people to speak based on the discussion that's taken place. These people don't even get us the agenda out with enough time for us to research stuff. If you don't want people to be upset in your meetings, then be more transparent and give more information with enough time so that people can look at things.
Yeah, that's nuts.
They're causing the hostile work environment. They're causing the toxic environment.
Yeah.
Well, then you deal with the consequences of your poor performances. You guys are all like, we want to support the people. We want to represent them. Well, then represent them, serve them. It's a lot of work. When I was the chief deputy coroner, I never turned my phone off. I answered that thing 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Well, sure.
And so that's the whole thing. And I don't know if we got where we were going tonight, but we are on the brink of change. But people, you've got to call your PCs. You've got to talk to them.
Yeah.
You've got to tell them what you want. You got to talk to your vice PC.
And if you don't know who they are and there's no way to get them to us, and no one should ever do anything to try to get that information to anybody, just to hell with you, I guess.
Well, I'm happy to give, because I work off of, I have a caucus sheet, but see, here's the thing. Russ didn't make me sign anything.
Well, yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when he came after me about me sharing it, and I'm like, no, I didn't sign anything. So I'm sharing away.
And I mean, yeah, I wouldn't sign. Not a non-disclosure. I'm gonna go back to what Adam said. It's not a non-disclosure, but it's the
non-sharing, whatever you guys call it.
Non-charting. Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, I just don't understand. If you don't want to share who your PCs are, then they shouldn't run for election.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. These guys aren't. These people aren't. They're not CIA spies. We're not talking about Delta Force here. We're talking about some idiots that don't really even do the job they're supposed to do. Go around, make sure people are voted, make sure people have mail-in ballot if they need it, and make sure people's families are getting registered when they hit the age, and doing shit that like my grandmother did when she was precinct committee person for 40 years. That's what a precinct committee person is supposed to be doing. These people are just there to do the at the beck and call of Russ Willis or his pet or whatever.
Well, and like Cheryl says, Lance is the new council president. And he used to talk crap about Rebecca Crooms all the time.
Who?
Lance Stevenson. So he says, Lance came up to me before the meeting. This is what Cheryl's saying. And I had asked, she took notice that he took public comment off. So I don't understand why elected officials gloat about this. I mean, you did understand that you're running for the people, right? And so did Bree send you the video?
No.
Well, maybe I've got it somewhere. I mean, and then Cheryl says, because some of the councils were fearful of someone who has threatened one of them. That's all with Jennifer Kolb. And her husband brought that on himself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. That was all Jennifer Kolb and her husband's doing. They poked the bear. They provoked him. Jennifer began to yell and scream. Okay, let me send this to you.
I got it.
You got it?
It was on Bree's thing.
You don't have a right to what? To deny the public or the council an opportunity to speak. I'm not denying that. Anybody can get up and speak when they want, based on if you want to talk about the ordinance, please come up and speak. The resolution, please come up and speak. And under communications, you're supposed to call the clerk if you want to talk about something. Please, I know. I'll get you on the agenda. But then you can't, are you going to do that for everybody or anybody that wants to talk? Anybody got a right to talk, and at any time, you're permitted to. You just want people to come up and just speak? That ain't what I'm saying. Then let's vote on it. Who, council, someone make a motion to vote. You cannot vote against the council. I'm not going against the council. If a member of this council want to speak, man, they got the same amount of power as you do. Yes, I am. Yeah, and about this is not time to be accused of. I swear. All right, anyways, it is being removed. And at any time, you're permitted to. You just want people to come up and just speak.
I mean,
I can't even. That's he.
And they never ever actually took a vote, right? But I want people to understand what happened, of how they got here. So I'm sending you this in Messenger. This is how they got here. It was their own doing. And here's the thing, Jennifer Kolb, the reason why this is relevant, she's one of your guys' PCs in Madison County, people. I can't even imagine her behavior. So Jennifer Kolb and Todd Kolb are your PCs, and Jennifer won. She's elected. So her thought process
I always hate
is
all these Madison County things or Anderson things because, hold on here. For whatever reason, none of this is like, I don't know if can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody can hear this. It's the audio is always just so weird.
Oh, Jennifer speaks loud enough for this one.
Well, if he is, I'm not done. Then he is to get funding for these folks. I stood here and said,
exactly
you think
right.
these folks deserve to be funded, fund them, and let's move on. We can blame the administration later.
We're voting on this resolution.
Nicole Kapuscinski, Spring Hill Road, 46016. And I just want to say that while you guys are busy up here making decisions every special meeting, city council meeting, sometimes you have staff members back here laughing and antagonizing the people at the podium. So when we're trying to speak and you have people back here laughing, snickering, or whispering and saying that we're drama queens and stuff like that, it starts getting very irritable. So
I don't know what they were saying, Nicole.
It does.
You had no idea. You had no idea what was going on. You had no idea what was going on. Nicole, you have no idea. This has nothing to do with what's happening.
And then I go, you guys lies. You lies.
You need to
You need to let her speak.
Yeah, that's what they do. They got me blocked on social media.
Yeah, go sit down.
Okay, go sit down.
Go sit down,
That's
Cole.
fine, because your husband was name calling you on social media. Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So now you see, and now you want to shut down public comment because your own councilwoman is interrupting and screaming at constituents? All she's asking is for a little respect at the podium. But you know what? Jennifer wanted to put it out there that she can behave any way she wants, loud and clear. That's why I'm like, you won't have any problem listening to this one. You'll be able to hear this.
Well, yeah.
You know, and she's a PC, people. So be careful when you call Jennifer Kolb because you might just get the nasty one. Not sure which one you'll get. You know, and so we are on the brink, people, of a movement here in Madison County. We've got enough people to run. It takes a lot of work, an incredible amount of work to get all these PCs together, to make things happen. And I'm hopeful. I mean, Chris, you know, letting us come on your show and talk about this stuff is pretty great. And people, I want you to understand, and I made a post today, as we begin to move forward in Madison County for a brighter future, there is hope. There is. But now we call upon all our PCs and our vice PCs to be our voices of votes for change. I've heard a lot of scuttle regarding Lisa Rinker, lack of experience, as if this would be a disqualifier. Perhaps this would be a breath of fresh air. Lisa Rinker has been in the common people's shoes. She has successfully won her elected seats, and she has been unsuccessful as well. So she has run for election many times over. I don't know where these people believe she doesn't have the background, because she does. Kelly has never run for a seat, people. Never. That in itself should be the greatest reason why she is the most qualified. But she has also taken the same lashings and abuse from the cabal, where Kelly Huer sits as the vice chair, was fully aware and supported the abuse of power. The community needs to take a step back and needs to ask, is Kelly Huer's overwhelming experience and exposure to the disgusting and horrible culture of Russ Willis a qualifier? What are Kelly Huer's disqualifications? Well, first of all, Kelly professes her admiration for Russ Willis. She states that she will continue on with his leadership style. 2, Kelly has been with Willis since 2013, starting as secretary, working her way up the ropes. So anything that Russ has done, she has condoned. You don't see her at these election board meetings sitting in for Russ, which she should be. She's the vice. Instead, she allowed them to place a Democrat person in
what a joke
seat and never did anything about it. She should have come back to the next meeting and she should have said, I'll be sitting in from now on. That will never happen again. But she never did.
What a joke.
Kelly claims that she will initiate open communication when she has been the leader to block the censor, or she has been the leader to block and censor people on the Republican Facebook page. The only reason why she's not on there now is because she knew she was in trouble and they're trying to run interference. She has been an admin on there forever. This is how deceitful she is. She's a chameleon, people. 5, Kelly's husband has never won an election. If she can get all these other people elected as she claims, then why can't she get the man she sleeps with elected? Makes you really scratch your head. Right. And here's the thing. After Troy and I won the coroner's race in the primary, she still refused to allow us to post anything on the Republican page. She refused to put us in the flyers. She refused to get behind us. That she is not a good person at all. Here's the thing. Why does Kelly support withholding the PC list from the candidates? Why is she actively using it? Now, listen, people, I'm not this liberal person of women's rights or anything, but I'm telling you right now, Kelly Huer is keeping women barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen with her mentality and her lack of action. She just will not stand up to Russ. We don't need that in this environment. We need somebody who is actually truly going to be a role model for young women and for people everywhere. 7, when has Kelly herself ran for election? The answer is never. How many town halls has Kelly organized? 0. How many has Lisa Rinker? Over a half a dozen. How many did Lisa Rinker attend? Over a half a dozen. How many did Kelly Huer attend? I don't recall her being at any of them. Kelly Huer was invited to speak at the Tea Party, but declined because she has other engagements. What could possibly be more important than this right now? What? Tell me. She's only running for 30 days. Try running for an entire session of a campaign for a primary for a general.
Yeah.
That's why she never runs. She doesn't have the stamina to do it. You know, how does this open communication or unify the people when she is not accessible in open forums? I could give you 100 more examples, but one thing is for sure, this chameleon, Kelly Huer, will carry the torch on for the cabal. Do not be fooled. Who really caused the faction for the Madison County Republicans? Look no further than the organizational team. And that is Russ and Kelly Gardner whenever they need a warm body, and Rob Steele whenever they need a warm body. All 4 of these individuals have reached their term limits, not just personally, but for the county. Madison County finally has a chance to make a huge change in Madison County. It's time to vote for new leadership and vote out the decades of illegal corruption from the existing cabal. Talk to your PCs and your vice PCs, people. It's important. Because if they come back and for some crazy reason Kelly has won, you get to call these people all day long and tell them how disgusted you are with it.
Yeah,
and
right.
2026 is going to be a free-for-all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just how, I just want people to understand. I will expect Dr. Ackerman and Lisa to be just as transparent as I have been.
Oh, sure.
And if they're not, well, then we'll have a special show for them as well. I can't imagine that's going to be the case. I encourage you to come out. I encourage you to ask questions at this tea party that's going to be Thursday night. Come out, speak, fill this room, be heard. It's free. It's open to the public. Be involved. I will have it on Facebook Live, but I encourage everybody to come out.
It'll be right here.
Yeah. I mean, we'll be running it.
Same place we always have.
Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of my soapbox for tonight. It is what it is. We'll see what brings us. And you guys just wait. I'm just going to keep pushing out more and more stuff about how disgusting Kelly Hewer and Russ Willis are.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, and in the future, run for precinct.
Yeah.
Committee.
Yeah, man. We people don't understand how it's the most important.
That'll be the Democrats.
Yeah.
Run for it.
It's very important. It's very important to run for precinct committee person. Man or woman.
There's no fee for it.
Yeah.
So run for it, people. I'm telling you, whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, be involved.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing that I know that's out there. And if anybody's watching, there was a letter that was circulated by Kelly Hewer about 10 to 14 days ago. People have received this letter from Kelly Hewer. It's a personal one from Kelly Hewer. She didn't send it to everybody. She only sent it to the people that maybe she thought was on the fence or that was in her camp. That's a problem because that's the same thing that Russ has done with the initial envelopes. So I'm telling you right now, every move she's making, that is the Russ Willis statute, Russ Willis playbook. Get rid of Kelly Hewer. It is time to stop the cabal.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I mean, you guys don't have a chance in hell in Delaware County. No,
I'm extremely disappointed with what's going on in Delaware County. I'm not I'm not to the point yet of going full out with what it is. I'm just dropping little crumbs. But yeah, like you said, there will be an expectation that there will be an expectation that Lisa and Ackerman run this like they're supposed to if they win. If Kelly wins, there will be an expectation that she pulls her head out of her ass and she'll get just as much shit if she doesn't. As there's this expectation, that if Ed isn't challenged and if he is negotiating, that he won't gatekeep anymore and yada yada yada, which I don't hold him, I don't believe he'll do any of that, but they get treated the exact same, it's
and here's the thing, David
it is what
Williams,
it is.
If you're watching still, you're a PC. I think you can apply to run as party chair up to 3 days before.
Yeah, 72 hours.
Right, up to 72 hours. Who knows? Maybe they just need somebody to go against him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Somebody needs to put their name out there and do it and see.
Yeah.
Who else? Tim Funk. Catherine always goes full out. Just for you, Tim.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that
maybe someone in Delaware County, maybe you just need to go.
Sure.
Here's the thing. I knew that I wasn't going to win that caucus for coroner. But you know what? Nobody can look at me and say I didn't try.
You didn't try, yeah.
So if things go awry in the coroner's office, hey, blame your PCs.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. I tried for auditor. I could have won, and if I would have gone for coroner, I do believe I could have won. I'm not just saying that. But this
the Democrat, hold on, the Democrats run in 26. David is what she was saying. The Democrats run their precinct committee people
in 26.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I knew that we needed to put more challenges. I knew already that you don't have a lot of power as the coroner, so I ran for auditor, and I don't think it's a bad deal that I was 500 short. So we say we're 500 short. Now that we've watched how the machine can be stuffed with whatever they want in Madison County, I don't even think Lisa Rinker lost to John Richmond. I got news for you people. I do not believe she lost. So that's just the reality of it. But yeah, I think that some people from Delaware County, if you're in good standing, I think you should put your name in the hat. I think you should run for reorganization. I think Janet, if David's going to go for chair, then Janet should go for vice, because it has to be male, female, right? It has to be male, female, male, female. And here's the thing. What do you have to lose?
Yeah. Pam, she's not an attorney. She'd have to be an attorney to be prosecutor.
Yeah, I'm not
an attorney.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the whole thing. And believe me, I would run for prosecutor if I could get through law school that quick and do it. Absolutely. But if you think about that, Janet and David, you got everything to gain, but you got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
And that's how I look at it. When I ran for auditor, I got nothing to lose. I'm still going to go over here and have my job. I'm still going to go over here and do my work. So what do I care? Right? So think about that. And
just in this last election, Karen, in 2024, Lisa lost to Richwine.
Yes, this just happened
a couple months ago.
Yeah, Lisa was running. I was running for auditor. There were great people running, and some people lost. And that could have been a movement, but a lot of people were not aware. And that's the thing. Yes, I want Lisa to win. I want Dr. Ackerman to win. I fully support them, organization. But my whole reason for bringing a lot of this stuff out throughout 25, this is not an election year, people. The reason why we're doing this is so that when people run in 26, more people are informed, more people have signed up to vote, more people are sharing information, more people are showing up at meetings, actually calling people out. I mean, that's what needs to happen. You need to be asking, instead of you people need to be showing up saying, where is all this money going?
Yeah.
And you need to keep that pressure on until 2026. My hope is Rob Steele won't be back. My hope is Diana Likens won't be back. Those are my true hopes. Yeah. Maureen White would be an excellent
great prosecutor.
She is an attorney. I would love to see her.
I would love to see Lorraine
as prosecutor. Will she? Well, I don't know. All you people watching, why don't you get behind her and start encouraging her for that?
I don't know. Tell her, yeah. Post it in the comments all the time.
I'll be your bodyguard, but you got to spell my name with a K.
Yeah. This is the K place.
Right? So, I mean, I'm just saying, run, people. Give them some competition.
Yeah.
Let them be uncomfortable. So what? Let them sweat a little bit. But clearly, David Williams, you beat him in your own precinct. Maybe his own party is secretly sick of him, but they don't.
Oh, they're secretly sick.
Yeah, they don't have anybody to choose other than him.
And the thing is, it's like he's got the seat stacked.
Are you a Republican?
Am I?
Yeah. Are you a Democrat?
Yeah. No, I'm not a Democrat. What the hell?
Are you a liberal?
No. What?
I don't know what you are. It doesn't matter.
A liberal.
But if you're a Republican in good standing, you should run for treasurer or secretary.
No. I am a conservative. I'm a constitutionally minded individual. I've considered myself a Republican forever. I am currently a card-carrying, right-leaning libertarian, member of the small L Libertarian Party of the state of Indiana, but it's a joke too. So whatever. I am who I am. I'm a political commentator.
And Lenny,
I love the
want you to know
Constitution. I
went all the way to Italy for these glasses.
Yeah. I am a child of God.
What did that
Lisa Rinker was not a choice on my ballot in 2024. She had to have been.
Was that during the general? Because that would be true, but in the primary, she was on there.
Why was she beat? She was beaten. Wait. She was
beaten in the primary.
Oh yeah, she was beaten in the primary. So you would have had a vote in May to see her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lenny, you're still here. I love it. Hey, okay, yeah, that was good. Yeah. Well,
We've been
anything
talking
else?
for 2 hours. I didn't know. No,
Yeah.
but I appreciate all you people who are watching. We've stayed steady with that. And hey, Russ Willis, anytime you want to get on here, I
would love Russ to come on.
We would love to have you on.
I would love Russ to come on. That would be a dream come true.
I'll let you talk about your Russ Willis statutes.
Yeah,
I'll give him about all the other things.
I give him the first 30 minutes and the last 30 minutes, and then he's just got to give us 30 minutes in between.
Right?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or however, first 10, last 10, whatever he wants. I would love for us to come on.
Kelly Hewer, if you would like to come on, we would love to have you on. I'm not speaking for Lisa Rinker, but if you'd like to have both of you on at the same time,
I would love
we would love to have both of you on at the same time. I would think that Lisa would gladly do that. Hey, Rick Gardner, if you'd like to go and we could bring Dr. Ackerman in, I'm sure that we can arrange that.
Yeah. I'd like to have Ed come on, or Stephen Brand, or Joe Boyce, or Joanne McKinney, or I don't know.
And just like Cindy Conscience said, what happened to the missing 3,000 fraudulent ballots? We'd all like to know that too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole.
Good evening, Dan. Yeah.
Thing. So, I want everybody to know I truly appreciate that you guys listen and give us a platform, and that you guys are so engaging. I love how much everybody on here talks, and it's not like people are just sitting over the side.
Mm-hmm.
Family reunion with the Culps and the Norricks. They get all kinds of stuff there, and Cindy goes to those family reunions.
Yeah.
Because she's related in there too.
Oh God.
So I thank you. More stuff will come up this week. And then if I can help you get to episode 400, you just let me know.
Yeah. Very good. I appreciate it, Catherine. We'll have you back on as always. And we'll go from there. So
David, run for chair.
Yeah. You know it.
Put your big boy panties on.
Yeah, he can do it. I'll talk him into it. I called you today, David, and you didn't answer. Call me tomorrow when you get a second, David. Okay, I'll get with you. Stay there, Catherine. I'll be right back. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, just as a quick teaser for tomorrow, we were talking about K76, which I'm just going to call you that because I don't know what all that other stuff is in between there. K76 said this: go file a complaint with the public access counselor if they refuse to give you information, blah, 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 blah. Tune in tomorrow as I talk to you about some crazy nonsense that I'm currently going through with Delaware County Commissioner's Delaware County Attorney John Brook. I've been battling him over the weekend. I always know when I have his panties in a wad because he emails me like at 11 o'clock at night or on Saturdays and Sundays. Like no other government person out there messages you after 4 or 5 p.m. or on Saturday at 9:30 at night, other than John Brook when he's all got his panties in a wad. And this idiot is literally trying to tell me that I cannot ask for a copy of a paid check from the auditor's office paying claims. And I am telling you what, I am not going to put up with it with his dumbass. And we'll talk about it all tomorrow. We've got a big show for tomorrow night, Delaware County based. It'll be me. It'll be producer Kate. We'll be right here, Delaware County tomorrow. And tomorrow is February 17th. You know what that is? That's deadline day down at the State House. There will be a session tomorrow. I think it starts at 10:30 or maybe 1:30. I don't know. But they will, maybe 10:30. I might be live streaming it. We'll either, we might live stream it here. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it's going to be the State House. It's going to be House session. So all of them on the floor voting on like 1186. And guess what? Per the calendar, 1628 is not there. So say our prayers, keep your fingers crossed, do whatever you do. We might be out of the woods with that right now, but there's always tomorrow, so you know what you got to do. But we'll keep you posted. Tomorrow's show, 9 p.m., be right here. Bring a friend, share the show, do all that stuff. That would be fantastic. Give us a like before you leave the door. That would be fantastic. Hit the like, subscribe, share the show with everyone you know, blah, 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 blah. All right. Love you. Good night. Take care. God bless each and every one of you. See you tomorrow. Have a great first of the week, work week, Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.